Hello, YouTube listeners. This is Revolution Radio, and we are just hanging out. You've got Jay and I tonight because it's cold and icy, and Cody's stuck in some foreign land of hell.
Even with that, I'm still saying, like, we're doing a short show because of that.
It's pretty.
It's bad. And, I mean, we don't... Here's the thing about Midwest. We don't know if it's going to get worse. Like, right now, it's okay. Driving was still a dick and a half. Like, I was sliding far more than I thought I was going to.
I don't understand people who are like, well, the weatherman said this, so I think we'll just wait to see. You can't do that in Kansas. Yesterday, it was 65 degrees.
Well, remember when we were talking about doing the show, I was going, yeah, we got it, no problem.
Yeah.
It's going to be no big deal. Because all the other time that it's been icy, it hasn't been that bad. It's been drivable. Today was actually really shitty.
Yeah, I don't get it. When it goes from 65 to 10 in like 12 hours with snow and ice, it just pisses me off.
But you were worried about being too cold down here. And it's not bad, is it?
No, but I have the heater aimed at me, and I have a hoodie.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't get cold.
Winter, you should at least be wearing a hoodie. And no, I'm feeling the warmth from the heater,
Are
too.
you?
Yeah, it's a great heater.
Okay, but the difference is my basement is heated.
Well,
does your basement have a heater?
I don't go down there. It's for the help. I don't go down. Who do you think I am?
That is such a white man response. Oh, my God.
No, because most white people are poor.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I did have a very rich conversation today with one of my employees who came by, and I was like, I apologized because the maid didn't do a very good job.
Did you really?
I did, but I was like trying not to be a dick, but like she did kind of fuck off a little bit.
Oh my God. I have a story, but I'll wait until we're live. It's interesting. Because I don't consider myself a rich person. Do you know what I mean? Well, today I was put in my place that I am rich and that I'm a show off. And I'm like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah, I would argue.
Right?
I know you.
You see what I look like every day?
I know what car you drive. I know what house you live in. I would argue that you're not rich.
I'm telling you.
And either am I. I'm selective with what I spend my money on. I'll spend on maid service, but I won't buy, like, I don't know, a giant TV. Well, I do have a giant TV, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was the wrong way to go.
2 seconds till we're live, 1 second, and...
Hello and happy Friday, Frozen Friday. This is Revolution Radio, and we are freaking cold.
You know what's bad? You think we're local.
I'm having a hard time because I know sometimes people are like, well, it's not cold where I live.
Yeah, most of the time, when you start us off, you go into the weather. And
I do, and it really freaks people out.
Well, it really only affects like a certain percentage.
It does.
And a small percentage of our listenership.
It's cold here in the basement. The bodies are complaining.
Like, if you would ask people in Chicago right now, they wouldn't say it's cold.
Yeah, I think they would. They got ice, too.
I think they have other shit to complain about right now.
You know what? It's a Friday, and that's all that matters. I love Fridays. Do you know why? Because tomorrow's Saturday, and I can sleep in.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite thing. I love sleep. My God, do I love sleep.
Well, sleep's good.
It is. You know what? I think I love my bed.
I just don't think you haven't designed a schedule around you. That's what you got to do. See, the biggest problem that a lot of people face is that they're too willing to bend.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I say, look, I get up at 10:30. So I've got what I call executive time.
Oh my God. Is that what you call it?
Yes.
Is that when you're on the toilet and you call me?
Trump actually took that whole thing from me. That was my... I don't take meetings before 10:30. I don't... don't expect me to be anywhere. That's just the way it is. Like, you got a problem with it, well, then you're going to have to figure it out. But it's
this
not
is
my
me time,
problem.
bitch.
Exactly.
That's
Now,
great.
I will argue the point, though, that I'll do a meeting or a phone interview or any of that stuff at, like, 1 a.m.
Which most
I'm
people
cool with
won't do.
You know, I'm just saying, why should I have to bend to other people's schedules? My schedule works for me, and I'm doing well. Maybe they should. Most people complain about getting up early. Well, obviously, I'm doing it right because I'm not complaining about getting up early.
I think I would be happier if I could do like interviews in my work from my bed. Like I didn't have to get up and go to a desk, even though it's like 20 feet away in the next room.
That might be, you might be happier, but you would live about another 6 months.
Like I would love to be in my bed. I love my bed.
You would start to resemble Jabba the Hutt very quickly.
He's very sexy.
You're just sitting there with like Cody in a bikini on a chain.
But it wouldn't be gold. I think silver is his color. Sapphire blue. Cody in blue.
I feel like he's a lavender.
Do you?
I do.
Can we please recreate this on like a poster?
I think that's more than capable.
And you could be the bounty hunter.
Now I'm hard.
Like the look on your face was great.
Are you really cool with our listeners, somebody posting your face on Jabba the Hutt, though?
I want Cody's face and a blue bikini. That would be great. If you guys could
make that would be hard. The bikini part.
Do you think so?
I bet so.
I think we should try it.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, I actually know the person who can do it.
I think that'd be great.
And she could have it done tonight. But not to mention any other listeners that might just be interested in doing that. It would be easier for her, though. She has much larger access to our pictures. There's like 2 pictures of me out there.
Which is great because you're cuddling Cody.
Right.
Like you're nuzzling his neck. I think it's romantic. Speaking of romantic, did you have a happy Valentine's Day? Love Day?
It was all right. I can't complain.
I'm glad.
I didn't get anything, but I don't plan on getting anything.
I got you something.
Well, yeah, you're the only one that's given me anything for Valentine's Day.
See, that's love.
But I don't really expect it. I'm fine with not.
Did you send your kid anything?
I didn't. I sent him with stuff, and then I gave him stuff when he got home.
That's cute. Was he excited?
The wife stuff, yeah. In fact, he's been playing. Because, see, I don't think the candy and flowers, like, what's the point? You're just wasting money, right?
You're not wrong.
So I just give gifts. Like, I got him Minecraft story mode for the Switch.
Yes.
He loves Minecraft.
Story mode's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
It's the complete collection. And so he was happy with that.
Aw, such a cute dad.
I suppose.
I embarrassed the hell out of my daughter.
Did you send her a vibrator?
No.
Because that would have done
it. She would have cried. I tried to embarrass my son, but it didn't work because he's as relaxed and chill as you are.
He was proud of the strap-on you sent. He's like, I'm a unicorn.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what he would do. I actually went to their schools to deliver their gifts because that's the kind of mom I am. The look on your face right now. Yeah.
Ew.
So
because one of your kids is damn near an adult. Like, she's only got like 3 years. And she'll be an adult. Like, do you know how much I'd want to kill you?
I know. It was great. I went to the boys' school first. And I wasn't paying attention because I had been so busy and there's things going on. I wasn't paying attention. And I had a 4-foot sloth with a big neon pink balloon that says, I love you, and candy. And I go walking in, and it's lunchtime, and there goes his class. And he was at the front, so he didn't see me. And the office chicks just busted out laughing. And they're like, are you seriously going to do this? And I go, yeah.
Why do you hate your kid?
So we waited a few minutes, and his teachers came out, and they're like, are you going to embarrass him? And I said, I hope so. So they're all excited. And I go in, and there he is at the middle table. There's like 150 kids. And my son stands up, and he goes, it's my mom. And he starts crying, and he goes, I love you. And then he hugged and kissed me. And he carried his giant 4-foot sloth around the whole day. My son is 12. And he was just the happiest little kid. So I thought, oh, man, this was great. That went so well. Let me go to the high school. So I get to the high school, and there I am with these balloons, and I got her flowers. I even ordered her the orange roses because they're her favorite. And I had a 10-foot neon centipede. Like, this thing is huge. It's ridiculous. And I go walking in, and it's her lunchtime, and she cries from shame. And sadly, because, yesterday was the last day of the week for the kids, she's in her uniform for dance, and she's sitting at a table full of juniors and seniors. Oh, yeah. I was the most embarrassing parent.
Yeah.
It was great.
No, you really do hate your children.
I love them. I think it's like growing. It's a growth for them. If you can survive this embarrassment, you can survive anything. I mean, what would you do? Your mom could have done that. I would have been proud to see your mom.
My mom would never do that, especially in high school.
Really?
No, she knew better.
She knew better.
She knew I was trolling for pussy. She's like, you get that pussy, honey.
Yes, because that's how your mom is.
That is exactly how my mom is.
You're such a dick.
So, enough with the fun stuff.
Enough. No more fun.
No, we had many funs, and now it's time for much destruction.
Nice.
Which is a great segue into a national emergency.
Oh my God, I'm concerned. Like, I'm waiting for bombs to go off and rockets and.
I feel like I hate.
That's what I think of when they, like there's a tornado or a hurricane. That's a state of emergency. That's what
School
I'm waiting
shootings,
for.
Yeah.
Not fucking Mexicans. You know what
Right.
we call that? A reunion. They're not rioting. They're trying to have fun at my family reunion.
And, well, I mean, okay, so for those of you who didn't see the press conference that Trump did this morning.
You're lucky, like me.
No, I actually advise anyone to watch it because you would really understand.
You told me to.
Not only that this man is
insane.
He's completely off kilter. But also,
yeah.
Let me just explain one thing before going further in. He said he's a tariff guy. He's like, I love tariffs. When you're talking about the deal with China, he doesn't understand we're paying the tariffs. Like, I don't know how many times people have had to talk to him about it, but they're like, no, we're paying the extra tariffs, dummy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how that works. You're getting these billions of dollars, but that's from Americans. It's like he views us as his workers, and he's giving us an extra tax.
Well, he said he was going to run our country like you run a business.
Apparently, he decided to run it like Jeff Bezos runs his.
We're just waiting for him to declare bankruptcy.
Really, those two.
They are.
They get along, like they should get along really well. I'm surprised they don't. But, okay, so furthermore, he said he was talking about chain migration, how we need to do away with that. And here's what he said. Well, because here's how chain migration works. A bad person comes into this country, and then they bring their entire family, their grandmas, their cousins, their nephews.
Fuck the grandmas.
And my issue is, though, is you just said you start off a bad person. Who says they're bad? Like,
exactly.
Who states that? Then he goes on to talk about the fact that the illegal immigrants are causing more crime than any other demographic in the country. Unprecedented was, I believe, his word. And when challenged on this, when they said, hey, look, I believe it was CNN, had asked him, where are you getting these facts? They seem to be disconnected with what we're receiving from the DOJ and from other departments among the justice system. And he never answered that question. And I wish they would have pushed him on that. But they cited the report that shows that illegal immigrants actually commit less crime than any other, than natural born or even immigrants who have got the pathway to citizenship. And he said, Trump looked at the reporter. He said, "Do you really believe that? Do you really? You know that's fake news." And he said, "Just look at our federal government or our federal prisons. Look at the numbers. Look at the population."
And when you go through every demographic, what is it?
Well, so I did just that while he was talking and found out that 20% of our prisons are filled with illegal immigrants, which pretty much lines up to what they said.
Wait, only 20%?
Right. 20% are illegal.
That's it.
Right.
That's sad.
And that's 20% by convictions, meaning you're going to go to prison for being an illegal immigrant. So,
yeah,
it's not even like the severity of what you did. Although a lot of them have done. I wouldn't argue that scumbags are scumbags. If you kill a family, you fucking whatever.
Yeah.
You're a fucking scumbag. I don't give a shit where you're from. But let's be honest about the numbers and all of that information, especially from the DOJ, who I trust more than most. They're not going to lie about it. Why would they lie about it? That's literally like if Will said, he took our reports about how much profit we should make by how many listeners we have per minute, and he got to say, why don't you give me the list of how many listeners you had? Well, we would say like millions, so we get like more money. Like, oh yeah, see, yeah, look, we got millions. They would do that. I mean, if anything, they would lie about it being more, so they would get more funding, and there was more reason to fund them. Like, all you have to use is your brain, and you can figure out common sense. That if they were going to skew the numbers in any way, it would be the exact opposite of what Trump is claiming. And so, but he went on.
Statistics don't lie. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't make it up.
Not when you have so many of them. Back to back to back to back.
And just because you don't like the answer doesn't mean you can call it fake news.
Correct.
It's not fake. Anybody can look it up.
Correct.
Literally, anybody.
And, you could even say in this case, with the illegal immigrants causing less crime, you could say, well, it's not perfect. Okay, that's true. But we'll take, for inaccuracy, you could say 5 to 10%, which is still less.
It's not enough.
Than natural-born citizens. Natural-born citizens just commit more crimes. We're comfortable. This is what it is it's like, you ever go to a house party, like a dining party, like a really nice dinner party?
Yes.
Right? You get there, elbows off the table. You are trying to be as appropriate as possible. Right?
Maybe.
Have you hosted a dinner party before?
Yes.
You're fucking farting in your PJs. I mean, you don't give a shit. It's your house. And that's how citizens, natural-born citizens feel about America. This is our house. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm bored. Let's build a bomb.
That's what I try to explain to people. The fear for me, if I ever did anything, I'm going to jail. The fear for them, you're going back to your country's jail.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Right? Like, I don't want to go to Mexico jail. I don't want to go to El Salvadorian jail. I don't want to go to a Taiwan jail. I see what they do there. They have fight clubs and they fight bulls now. It's not who I am. Like, I'll go sit in one of our jails. You have TVs. I get my own room. I don't want to see that, but I get my own bed. I have no roommates.
It'd be better than you have now.
Right?
Someone else will clean up after you. I think that's where we have to look, though, is just how much it doesn't make sense for them to lie about that number. And so, anyway, Trump was using that and other fear-mongering techniques to essentially declare a national emergency, and so to procure the funds from the military for the wall. And so now he's going to be getting $8 billion. Without a doubt, it's already starting that the House is already working on a bill, and they're looking to sue him, and they're going to stop it. And of course they're going to. It'll go to court. It's going to see multiple court hearings. And here's the reality of it is, it will never happen. So for anyone who's freaking out about the wall and, I don't want to see my tax money go there, don't worry. It's not going to happen. There's not nearly enough time.
Yeah, most of you aren't even getting a tax return as it is. I don't even know why you're concerned.
I mean, and the people who are for it, like your Ann Coulters, who are all excited about the wall. Don't get too excited on that end either. It's not going to happen. Look how long it took for his whole his travel ban.
Yes.
That started it just recently got implemented because these court hearings and proceedings, they take so long. And do you really think that's where Trump's mind's going to be come even 6 months from now? Furthermore, I would argue a year from now, he's not going to give two shits about it because he's going to be on the campaign trail. And his only goal is going to be trying to win back the presidency.
I mentioned as a joke that, most of you aren't getting a tax return. Apparently that pissed people off.
Oh, most people aren't. They're not getting what they,
Exactly. And I don't even know why. Well, Chris, you're concerned. Yeah, I said your name. You don't make enough to actually worry. Why are you worried about if you make $10 million? You don't.
let's
you work in a factory, fucktard. Let's be honest. My God, don't text me.
Yeah, we can discuss that
God.
once we're done with this, because that is an interesting conversation, for sure.
Don't text me.
But yeah, so this whole thing with the wall, I think is it's not going to happen for one. It's going to be held up in court for far too long. The one thing
and I agree. It's not a state of emergency.
It's not.
And if he does get the wall, why is it such an emergency at this moment? Why now? Why?
And let me also bring this about all of you conservative listeners out there. Do you not think that President Bernie Sanders will do the same thing on climate change? Do you not? I mean, you just set up a precedent that this is acceptable.
Exactly.
He's going to come in and say, we need $80 trillion for climate change.
And
that was all set up by Trump's precedent.
Exactly.
Of this. He would have never done that if it hadn't been for this. So when that happens, because it will.
I don't want to hear any shit from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's either going to be Tulsi Gabbard, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders. One of them will.
Yeah, I mean, I am, and you're not wrong. I mean, how many state of emergencies do you think we could file? Our education system, America is failing. State of emergency. Climate change.
You could do all of that under the Green New Deal.
I think it would be amazing.
But I mean,
I support it. It is an emergency.
Rather not. Do I honestly think they'll do that? No, they won't.
No, because
they're
they have
reasonable.
common sense,
yes.
and they're not completely children. They're not a toddler who's pissed off and ranting and raving.
And they know it's a resolution. I don't know how many times I've heard that. I really thought that this show is going to be changed to for the next 2 years, defending AOC. Like, that's the entire name of the show. Because I don't know how many times I have been looking at news articles.
AOC is not, she's not dressing up like a ninja with Hillary Clinton and Obama. She's not coming into your home and terrorizing your family.
Well, and for me, it's the misunderstanding of the Green New Deal. I am so fed up with that. I am so tired of these
She's
people
taking our
who
tax
don't
money.
understand it.
She's taking the money and she's throwing it away, and we should just rely on coal.
Well, and do you know what a resolution is? That's the thing. That's the most important thing.
Do you think that most
it's not
people
a
get
bill.
resolution and revolution mixed up? Do you think that's the problem?
No, they think it's a bill. They're too stupid to understand that it's not a bill. It's not mandated.
Oh,
These
you're
are
starting
ideas.
to say stupid again. Look at you.
And I don't want to digress too much from the wall, although I really don't think it's as much of a story as it will be. I think it's going to fizzle out quickly. But
I don't think it's the story. I mean, and yes, he did what? He called this huge thing today. He made a big deal. He declared a state of emergency. He shook hands. He signed papers. And then people do not get what the man did. He got on his airplane, and at this moment, he's flying to Mar-a-Lago, and he's going to take a week off because he's so stressed. Look at his Twitter. He just admitted he needs a vacation. Again,
another one.
Let's be honest. It's not that big of a deal.
And I think, too, you look when President Obama wanted to declare a state of emergency about immigration himself, on the other end.
That wasn't a problem.
Yeah, Trump had a huge problem with it. He said you shouldn't circumvent the Senate.
How dare he?
And that's exactly what he's doing
Fuck you, Obama.
now.
What is wrong with you?
And look, I was against what Obama wanted to do too, to be honest.
Yeah,
which,
I
by the
never
way,
saw
if you think that Obama was trying to open borders, he wasn't. Like, any of you who are on that side that Obama was like pro-immigrant, no. Obama
My
was
biggest issue is when people try to compare and contrast Obama and Trump, that Obama was such a hippie and he did all these things and he didn't do anything and he was a pussy. And I'm like, did we have the same president?
I mean, I would agree on some of that, to be honest. Obama was a pussy.
But to the extent that people are saying.
More. I don't think he's given enough credit for being a pussy. I mean, look, I know some people really love Obama and some people really despise him. I
heard he was the devil.
He was a corporate shill, just like the rest of them. Everything he did there were so many things he could have done right that he didn't do. And, I mean, sure, he did.
He married a man, and he made it legal for transgendered people to use the same bathroom. And do you know how inappropriate that is?
Right.
What if a man used the toilet I wanted to use?
This is my problem with the left, though, is they're doing the same thing that the right did with Obama. Meaning, why are you picking on the whole Michelle's a dude? There's a bulge. There's no fucking bulge. She didn't have a dick.
She had a bulge. Did she?
2 on her chest. That was about it. She had giant biceps. But she wasn't a dude. And who cares? Like, why are you going on that? They didn't, for like, once bring up the fact that he deregulated the banking system even more. Why didn't you talk about that? That was huge.
That wasn't important.
It was massive, but people don't pay attention because it's not quote unquote sexy. And that's what the left is doing with Trump, to be honest. Because I was the one
he's
thing
not sexy.
The one thing that really took me back today in Trump's, state of emergency address was that he brought up what he did in the ZTE negotiation.
Really?
He did. And I thought, why the fuck is he bringing this up?
Well, yeah.
I mean...
Maybe I should have watched this.
You should have, because it's literally like O.J. Simpson talking about Nicole Brown. Like,
oh, my God.
Why are you talking about a crime that you committed and then going back to it? Do you really think people aren't going to look it up? I think he got lucky that no one talked about it before. Our fucking show was one of the only ones that talked about the bullshit he did.
True story.
And for the people who don't know, ZTE was completely sanctioned. They were pretty much blown into oblivion under Obama because ZTE operated flip phones, throwaway phones that were given to our military. ZTE decided to sell the coordinates of those phones to Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and people like that. They were caught for that. Trump made infarction. So Obama said, fuck you guys, we're not working with you anymore, we're shutting you down. I think and I will give Obama credit on this one, I think if he could, he would have taken all of them to court and made sure that, they were tried on war crimes. That's who hurt our troops more than anyone. When you tell them, hey, you got a squad over here, here's the GPS coordinates, ZTE sold that information to terrorists. Okay? Trump comes in, he takes $1 billion as a penalty. Then they actually give him his company $500 million, and the government of China gave his company $500 million, and ZTE's up and running again. Is that American? And why the fuck is he talking about this?
He was proud.
Does he think Americans are so stupid they don't know the story about ZTE? And if they missed it,
he believes that, and he doesn't think people are going to care.
I think so too. And if they missed it, they fucking know it now. They're gonna look it up. Like, what was he talking about? ZTE.
Minor details.
I can't. And that is the principle of why I get so irritated with these people and their bullshit about AOC and the Green New Deal. Because you do have so many people like Tim Pool and other left-wing people who just constantly talk shit on what she's trying to do. And it's like, well, what's your plan? What do you got? Oh, I don't know. Why don't you just have George Soros and Howard Schultz and everyone else tell you what to do first? And then you can come up with a plan. Because you have nothing. Because you're bought and sold by major corporations. That's literally what they're doing. True story. That's why there's so many people. If you notice, it's not just the left. It's not just the right. There's so many people against AOC. And they're trying to make her look incredibly ridiculous. And they're, she's trying to take away air flight. Is she? Or is she talking about capitalism by bringing in another form of transportation? Because I believe that's capitalism. That's what you all want. But they're doing that because you have major corporations. You have 100 companies are responsible for 71% of our emissions in the world. Just 100 companies. And of course, they're the richest. Those rich fucking companies are telling all these pundits and all these analysts, make her look like an idiot. We are not losing money over this shit.
Well,
because I don't want to get on an Alex Jones conspiracy thing, but the reason why is because it's so popular. She's so popular.
She is, and when you go in, how popular has she truly become? She's young. She's a woman. She's an ethnic woman. A lot of things that they hate. And what they're being told is, well, we're using clean coal. What the fuck is clean coal?
Clean coal.
And because I've asked several people, especially the one messaging me, can you call in and explain to me what is clean coal? Jay and I would really like to know. And if you could explain it to me, maybe Jay and I could support this. Just tell us, what is clean coal?
Not to mention, we're talking about that and AOC's plan in a lot of ways. Yes, there are some very far-fetched ideas that I don't think we're going to be able to do. But she knows how to negotiate, by the way. Because if you remember right, and I've brought this up, Trump had $25 billion for the wall just last year. He negotiated himself to $1.3 billion because that's the art of the deal, I guess, is to lose $23.2 billion.
The art of the deal.
That's how you do it. She's asking for everything because she knows she's only going to get half of it.
Exactly.
And she's trying to address all of these other things that are happening because of it. Now, let's talk for a minute about coal. If you look in California and Texas, by the way, which is incredibly crazy, for every one natural resource, energy job, coal, gas, oil, there's 8 jobs of renewable energy. 8-to-1 ratio. So
yeah,
when
but
we look
they
at
have clean coal on here.
When you look at some place like Pennsylvania, and what was coined as paradise, and Trump actually was talking about this place on a good chunk of his campaign trail and how important it is to bring the jobs back, that plant just closed 2 days ago because they went bankrupt. None of that actually happened. We didn't bring coal back. You can't. It's antiquated. So what she's talking about is let's have more solar panel factories there. Let's have more windmill factories there. Let's put people back to fucking work. Let's bring manufacturing back to America, and then we export that. You remember that thing we used to do where we made shit and we sold it to other countries?
No.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome, wasn't it? Let's go back to that.
Okay, but Trump did bring jobs back. Remember, he opened those asbestos plants? Because he's going to bring asbestos back?
Yeah, we do need that back. Yeah, yeah. Which, by the way, anti-vaxxers, you're worried about vaccinations? Let's look at asbestos.
Well, and didn't Trump
all of us
say
are going to have fucking Tommy Boy as our children?
Vaccines equal bad. Wasn't that the tweet? Was they equal bad?
I have no idea.
I think that was his tweet. So, I mean, he's bringing back the measles. Whooping cough is making this great big thing in Kansas. Asbestos is on the rise. Clean coal is coming out.
Well,
making America
clean
great.
Coal already didn't come out, and it's going back. It had a 1% rise, and now it's drifting back into where it was always going to be. I mean, it's literally marketing for coal and pushing for coal is like saying the Cardinals are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Woohoo!
It's just not going to happen. There's
They're
no
really
way.
They're going to kick a touchdown.
You can't force that. It fucking sucks. And yeah, when you have the plant that Donald Trump was backing, this is the president. The president can't keep this plant open. It's antiquated. It's time to move on.
For Trump to announce the AFL is coming back, and we're just going to do away with the NFL. There's just too many cheaters in the NFL. We're going back to AFL.
We do have the AFL.
No, the AFL where he owned the team, and get rid of
Was that AFL or XFL?
That was AFL.
Was it?
Yeah, he owned
remember.
the Jersey Drillers. Let's bring them back.
Yeah.
And then we could have the Kansas Tornadoes.
Right. And then you'd have like the Florida Hurricanes.
San Franciscan Fairies. I mean,
I would say the California wildfires.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's make America great. Let's do this.
Just bring on all the Wyoming volcanoes.
I don't.
And the Texas immigrants, because we have a fuck ton more of them if we don't fucking actually do something about climate change.
And this is my biggest issue with everything going on. And when you think back 10 years, not everybody had a cell phone. Do you know what I mean? Cell phones were on the rise about 10 years ago.
Oh,
and when you
09?
Yes.
Fucking everyone had a cell phone in 09.
No, because now more businesses are making it a requirement. People have up to 3 or 4 cell phones now. But let's take a look at our cell phones.
I don't know. I still got to argue with this. I think you can go like 15 years, maybe.
No, but go back 10 years. Did you have a flip phone, though?
No.
That was internet access?
No. It was 09.
I'm pretty sure you had a flip phone.
I know a flip phone. I had a flip phone since freshman year of college.
Oh, my God.
That was like 03, 04.
But here's my problem. We all have these little electronic devices. And when I say we all, when you look it up, 97% of Americans have a cell phone. That's including some infants. And I don't know how people get away with that.
My son has a phone.
So let's go with the statistic, 97%. You click on the Google button, which a lot of phones now have Google. Some of you have the www sign. You can get any information at the touch of a finger. So all you have to do is click like fact checked. Fact check Trump's latest speech. Fact check climate change. And people still don't believe it. Like, read up on climate change and then tell me it's not real.
Yeah, but all they're going to say is, and Cody and I did a story about this Wednesday, where 2.5% of the world's insects are dying off every year. And that's a very scary fucking number. But most of the, rebuttal we got on that was it's fake. And you can't argue with it's fake. You really can't. You can't be like, oh, well...
Well, and I know because somebody...
It's not because these people didn't know they're fake.
Somebody posted it, and the comment was, well, that's because we use pesticides.
That's a strong argument.
And all I could think of was, do you see the problem with using the pesticides, though? I mean...
Yeah, we shouldn't use them.
Exactly.
We shouldn't use them in the manner that we did. Actually, the person you're referring to, I forgot. I know his name when I see him. I know his picture, too. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Because it's not a name, it's a letter. It's just one, yes.
Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, you're listening. There you go. You got to mention. He was talking about using other organic. Like he came out and said, "Yeah, this is garbage," and I'm paraphrasing, but we should use this. And I respect that as saying,
yes.
Yeah, it's garbage. Here's an organic form we can do, and it's much better. As per a lot of the people that, like Cody was, especially Cody deals with the right far more than either one of us
God,
do.
because somebody needs to.
And it was just like fake. It's fake news. And I mean, I go and jump on his page sometimes, and I defend his.
I can't
because I get bored. But
so I have to be in the mood to get on Cody's page.
It's very, very difficult to just argue with it's fake. You can't say, well, no, it's true because these are scientists. No, they're fake scientists. They're paid off by George Soros. Like, where are you getting this information?
Sometimes
is what I want to know.
I feel like if I hear it's fake, do you know George Soros? I automatically just want to punch you in the face. It's a thing that I'm getting.
And the thing is like, if you buy into George Soros doing what he does, then you have to buy into what the Koch brothers do. They're the same version. They're just on the opposite side. And I do buy into a lot of the George Soros crap. I do, because I made a comment about Richard Ojeda. I said if Richard Ojeda gets a platform and he's heard, he will either be assassinated or he'll be our next president.
Or both.
Or both, yeah. The dude is a complete revolution. Complete. I mean, he was the perfect mix of... He was a populist, a true populist. And what happened? He got no platform. Now, why didn't he get platform? Why didn't he get a platform, but Howard Schultz is getting a platform? You know, Howard Schultz has 4% approval.
Which is weird. Why?
It's just garbage approval. Nobody likes him. In fact, I wish we had clips set up because, and you can look it up, Howard Schultz polled a George Bush. Or no, not a George Bush, his brother.
Oh, yeah.
Which one's the Bush brother?
Jeb.
Yes, he pulled a Jeb, where he multiple times in his speech had to say, "Please clap. This is where you clap." Which is nothing funnier to me than that. Like, if that's your support, you fucking stink.
Please clap for
But
me.
yeah, he got a town hall on CNN. How did he get a town hall on CNN? Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris, for anyone who, I don't know, is a fan of hers, remember, she's the one who said that she smoked weed in college, but as soon as she became a prosecutor, prosecuted very strictly on marijuana cases.
Well, that's for other people, not her.
Exactly. And, I mean, she's bought out by, Matt Whitaker was actually one of the people she could have prosecuted for fraud, and she didn't because, well, he's rich. Someone's paying my
make
coffers.
A donation.
I mean,
they're donations. They're not payoffs.
No, exactly. But it's the day after she announced she got she got a big town hall on CNN. If you wanted to find Tulsi Gabbard, you had to search your ass off to find her town hall.
Exactly.
Klobuchar.
Yeah, you have to search.
Hers was fucking everywhere. And oh my God, she's such a hero. She's standing out in the fucking snow. No, Klobuchar's a bitch. Politically. I'm just saying.
Face to face, she's more cuntish. It's okay.
But my point is yeah, that's that right there, which isn't sexy, but that's Soros' money working.
I will agree. Yeah.
Cuomo, Bloomberg, they all get these like massive media coverages. But when you have somebody who literally has done something that no one else has ever done, where he changed a negative 49-point loss the year prior, and he gets it to a -2, it's a 47-point change in a district that has never been seen before, named Richard Ojeda. He gets no credit. You don't go and say, man, this guy's fucking changing things.
No, he doesn't matter.
AOC. If AOC had not won, no one would know who she is.
Exactly.
And, but she did major work. She beat out Crowley, who was the big guy. Everyone even said she really shouldn't primary him. And I remember watching the day after she won the primary, CNN was like, oh, a lot of people, no one's been talking about her. Yeah, we were talking about her.
Exactly.
Secular Talk was talking about her. The Young Turks were. Joe Rogan was. And I'm not putting all of them in the same group, but what I'm saying is journalists who actually do their work, they were talking about her, but the mainstream media wasn't, because they weren't funded by George Soros to talk about progressives. They hate progressives more than they hate Republicans because they can buy Republicans. They can't buy progressives.
No, you really can't.
And that's just like, ultimately that's where I'm coming from my defending AOC standpoint in the Green New Deal. Do you find it weird that a lot of people who are trying to be marketable, even Steven Crowder, who I hate Steven Crowder, right-wing punk kid, he doesn't talk as much shit on AOC, but he doesn't want to be marketable. He cusses throughout most of his show. He discusses why. You know what? Actually, I'm wrong. It's Charlie Kirk. Crowder's opposite. I apologize. Charlie Kirk. He doesn't say as much shit about her.
Okay.
My point with this being is you have a lot of liberals like Tim Pool who will talk shit on her, but they're incredibly marketable. They don't cuss. They watch how they take pictures because they want that big platform on CNN. They want that job on MSNBC. They want all that. And when you're analyzing something like that, and you're watching a character assassination, like they're trying to, perform with her, look at who's saying it and what they gain by it. And
exactly.
And that's just the answer right there. Again, rationally, we know the Green New Deal is not. In some manners, it is far-fetched, but it's a track that we need to be on. It's goals that we need to set. You watch My 600-Pound Life. You have an 800-pound person. They do put that goal to be 130 pounds. Yeah, they'll probably never get there, but let's try.
Yes.
A salad to replace fucking Reese's Pieces cups is going to be fucking awesome. It'll go a long way.
Oh.
Is that going to be an every meal thing? Probably not, but let's try. Let's hope. Let's set that goal.
Let's set that goal that we're gonna eat a piece of lettuce a day, just a little piece. That's all AOC is saying. Just enjoy your lettuce.
Let's keep going. And
you know, lettuce here.
One of the things I keep saying is about like the whole cow farts thing.
Oh my god.
The cow emission.
Yes.
Dude, but okay.
You can't control a cow's gastronomy. Look, I'm quoting him again. I'm serious. That is a meme that has been popping up. You can't control cow farts.
And she's not talking about going around America plugging up cows' anuses with a cork. What she's saying is we need less. And she's 100% right. And you'll have situations where like Joe Rogan is talking about this, about mass farming and how it's actually really dirty. And not just like physically dirty, but I mean what they do to get
horrible.
Certain land, what they're doing, like politically it's dirty. But yeah, not to mention the runoff, what it's doing to our climate and our water, and the fact that every one of us, a newborn baby, has fucking Roundup in their system.
Fake news.
Joe Rogan will talk about that, and everyone understands it. And everyone also understands that fucking good beef is delicious. And when I say good, I mean grass-fed fucking beef that is out. He's running around. He's doing stuff out in the field. He gets to live a life. And then you get the ones that are just, the $1.99 a pound at Walmart, and that shit's garbage. Most of it looks rotted. It's disgusting. We shouldn't be eating that anyway. It's what's causing cancer. And if you look at that rationally, you say, you know what? That's right. We should stop that. In fact, some of it's been advertised and not by people on the left and not by people who are worried about climate science, but actual doctors say, as Americans, we really need to cut down our meat. We do.
We do. We really do.
And now it's to a point where, it is hurting. It is hurting us. And a lot of our fucking meat, by the way, isn't even here. Most of it comes from Brazil.
Exactly. And for those, just look it up.
Watch how they process it, by the way. I mean, there is blood and shit while they're
grinding it. We will have
to
post a story on a lot of it. But, I mean, that's what we're saying. Just look it up. And thank you, Chris, for once again. It's... just look up global warming. Just look it up. You're right. It's cold today. Why do they call it global warming?
Oh, my God.
We don't have time for your trollish antics.
Do you realize that we had to change global warming to climate change because people are stupid? Some places are going to get colder. Some places are going to get warmer. But look this up, Chris. Last year, was it, yes or no, the hottest year
we had a fucking
history.
Polar vortex 2 weeks ago.
Hold on.
My God.
The year before, 2017, was it the hottest year prior to any other year? Was 2016? The answer is going to be yes, by the way. And I would bet every cent I have that 2019 is going to be even hotter. Yes. That's why they call it global warming. It doesn't mean everything changes at once.
These little changes, the climate changes, which is why we had a polar vortex here instead of Antarctica and the North. Let's just say, maybe, Chris, get on your fucking phone and Google it and quit being a fucking troll.
It's true. That is 100% true, though. Every year it's gotten hotter. That's
and every
why
year
it's
it gets colder.
In certain areas.
Just...
In certain areas. But you remember when we actually had snow? Like, winter was winter?
Remember when we got thunder snow that one time and people were like, oh, what's that?
We just said yesterday it was 65.
Exactly.
Just because there's a quick change, it doesn't mean that... I mean, that's all marginal, I guess, is the thing I would say. And quickly on taxes, by the way. People are getting fucked on taxes, and if you listen to Fox News and a lot of those places, they are saying it's because you didn't set it up right, you didn't get enough taken out.
Exactly.
Did you know that for the bottom 30%, which Chris, you're most likely in that, you would only have gotten an extra $60 back. Look that up too. That's actually true. If you were in the middle, the max you would have gotten back is about $380. But if you were in the top 10%, you'd get about $160,000. These tax cuts were for the rich, not for you.
Hey, Chris, I want you to know.
I don't even know Chris. I like both.
I'm getting more back than that. Like I'm getting back a serious amount because
you're a welfare queen.
Because I went in when you're president that you so proudly love, because in your profile picture you're wearing his fucking MAGA hat. I went in and we talked about, how can we adjust, and yeah, I'm getting more back than you. So Chris, suck my dick.
Well, it helps if you tell them you don't work a job, but you really do work under the table, and then you're sitting there buying or selling your food stamps. That helps.
Well, yeah, if you guys only knew how much money Jay and I really made.
I see you drive around in a BMW.
Really, Mr. Lincoln Navigator?
Oh, I never drove one of those pieces of shit.
It's not like you're driving some shitty Kia or anything.
Or what I'm driving now. I have a Nissan from the early 2000s. That's what I'm driving right now. Because for one, I know to live within my means. But
how dare you, good sir? How dare you?
I know. And also,
are you on welfare? Yes, everything you hear is true. I'm selling my food stamps. I'm supporting like 7 kids with 6 baby daddies.
You should also see what she does with the immigrant kids, the illegals. She goes down there with her husband. They pick up a van full and they sell them to Betsy DeVos.
We do.
I mean,
like $10,000 a pop, man.
It's good money. It's fucking fantastic money.
Oh God, the trolls are out today, aren't they?
Those little brown hands can make a lot of shoes.
Wow.
That's what they're good for.
The trolls are out.
It's too bad because I almost want to stay, but we gotta leave. And
yeah.
I don't feel like paying more money to be on for another half an hour. I don't know. Should we stay or should we go? I'm gonna let you call it. Mind you, if we go or if we stay, we have to take a break and get commercials out of the way.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. It's cold. Global warming's freezing us.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. I really would, especially like Chris or any of these people.
Call us.
Yeah, give us a call. I would love to actually have the conversation. And I don't fuck with the knobs when people are talking. I won't completely cut you out.
Chris
or anything
is my
like that.
favorite guy. He's the one that posted a picture of China and said, "See, when you build walls, Mexicans don't come." That's who he is.
That's hilarious when you think about it.
Do you know what I told him? It's easier for us to cross the border here than it is in China.
Well, if they had boats, you can see tons of them. But, yeah, anyway, give us a call. Call in. Let us know your opinions. Tell us why we're wrong.
Please. I really want to know why I'm wrong.
I actually would appreciate that at any point. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend. Drive safe if you live in this area. At 7 o'clock, there will be Rock Assault Radio, which is going to be awesome. They did pre-record because they're out of studio as well.
And they're smart sometimes.
But yeah, they did a smart thing by pre-recording the show. So yeah, you gotta get an hour of some good heavy metal music, and then you got the boys, the Redneck Metal Mafia. 2 hours, and then Robin Slim after that.
I was going to call it the Tom and Jim Show.
Anyway, guys, check us out, Revolution Radio on Facebook, Revolution Radio, the YouTube channel. I think Tanya got that updated. She should have.
It should be working. Oh. Everything will be working fine by tonight.
Okay, awesome. Because
yes.
If you guys got to check out the Quindale episode, which was a couple Fridays ago. That was amazing. Anyway, guys, we don't want to pay any bills. We love you.
See ya. Do they fuck this when they're on air? Is that what this is for?
That was, I don't know what that's
for. You're trying to, I'm like, you're picturing it, right? Like
no, but Cody was jacking that off.
I figured. I just assumed it was Will and Mike. Somebody was fucking it.
Yeah, it was. Well, again, Cody was jacking it up. It's like it was a, I have no idea why it's there. By the Redneck Metal Mafia sign, which is just fantastic.
I'm going to make one for Revolution Radio.
I do not need a cardboard sign in our studio.
I think I want to do it on
literally.
A piece of paper. A toilet roll.
That's what we should do. Like a toothpick and a tiny little piece of paper.
Yep.
Anyway, YouTube, we're off. We've got a weekend to start. Thank you guys so much for listening and checking out all that extra stuff. Apologies for not giving you more extra today, but we honestly weren't even going to do the show.
It was a toss-up for us.
The weather has been so bad, and yeah.
Shit, we didn't even talk about Colorado.
No, it's not Colorado. It's Illinois.
Was it Illinois?
Yeah, so there's another mistake. Sorry, we're going to stay on for a little bit longer to explain this. So, Aurora, Illinois had a massive shooting today.
So on the Fox News one that popped up first, it said Aurora, Colorado.
That's what Cody said, too. And I'm like, no, Illinois.
It's okay. So it's not just me. 4
cops were shot.
Yes.
They are all stable, though. There's multiple victims the last time I looked, and it was over an hour ago, so I don't know. The shooter was apprehended. From what we heard, and I apologize, apprehended, not apprehended. From what we're to understand from a few survivors who were interviewed, that the shooter was using a handgun type, possibly a semi handgun. I don't know. The one thing they did say about the handgun is it had a scope on it and a laser, which is a sight.
He's wanting some very precision.
A red dot, which is fucking crazy though, because like, why do you need a scope on a handgun? Like, how shitty of a shot are you? Like, if I decide to go hostile here, everyone would be gone. Like, and I don't need a scope for that.
That's because none of us run.
It's a good point. And like, Will's such a giant target.
All you gotta do is lock the door to upstairs. We'll all fucking starve to death. I mean,
a good point.
Remember when we talked about the flooding and Cody's like, well, we could all just go out the window. But could we though?
I mean, I know Cody could. I think I might be able to.
My tits would not make me look.
If I had a chair, by the way, because you need a chair to get up there.
I need a couple of chairs. We're all gonna fucking die.
Anyway, yeah, no, we did not talk about Chicago. Illinois. But yeah, it has been such a bad day for weather. We didn't even plan on doing the show. So thanks a lot, guys, for listening, checking us out. Have a great weekend, and we will be back full strength for 2 hours on Monday. Take care.